Tower of Power. In open zone. Open zone. T.O.P. Yeah. In open zone. Open zone. Tower of Power. In open zone. Open zone. East Bay Creek. In open zone. You might live in a house. Or maybe even out of a trunk. But when you're in the open zone, you do it with a lot of funk, y'all. You might be in turmoil. Or total serenity. So when you're in the open zone, you'll be listening to R&B. Open zone. Tower of Power.
33 years ago, Tower of Power was formed in Oakland, California, with Emilio Castillo and Stephen Doc Kupka, the true essence of a soul band, truly funkified music. 1971, on legendary promoter Bill Graham's San Francisco Records label, they released their debut album, East Bay Grease. That was followed by Bump City in 72, the self-titled Tower of Power in 73, then back to Oakland, Urban Renewal, and within the last 9 years, Monster on a Leash, T.O.P., Sold Out, and the list goes on. The tunes, What Is Hip, You're Still a Young Man, So Very Hard to Go, and Soul Vaccination are just a few of the classic jams that every R&B fan truly loves. This extraordinary horn section has worked with, and listen to this list, Elton John, Santana, Fish, Bonnie Raitt, Little Feat, Ray Charles, Stevie Nicks, Lyle Lovett, Poison, Rod Stewart, and a long list of others. Tower's live shows bring the level of excitement to a zenith, and you can feel the rhythm of your body move with each and every note. Coming later this year, probably in November on Epic Records, a new CD titled Oakland Zone, In the Oakland Zone. And here to talk with me about the disc and their funky past, my friend, Emilio Castillo and Stephen Doc Kupka. Gentlemen, welcome and thank you for being here. Appreciate
Thanks,
this.
Rich.
This for me is a real pleasure.
It's great for us to be here with you again.
Appreciate that. The forthcoming CD, The Oakland Zone, where does that fit in the long list of T.O.P. albums? And Neem, where does it fit in the evolution of those discs?
Well, you know, this is going to be our first record in the studio with David Garibaldi since he's come back. We released a live album called Soul Vaccination Live about 2 years ago, but this will be the first time that we've actually gone in the studio and created brand new songs with David Garibaldi back on drums. And the classic rhythm section of Francis Rocco Prestia and David Garibaldi, it's just indescribable.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So we've already gone in and cut 15 tracks. We're going to cut 2 more, and then I got a couple of months to finish doing the overdubs and mixing and stuff. It'll probably be out around November. But we made a conscious decision to go back to Oakland. You know, we all live all over the nation now. You know, we're scattered all over the place. But we started writing up there and rehearsing up there, and now we're recording the record up there. And, you know, we just wanted to get all the elements that were in that Back to Oakland album of years ago. You know, a real big, beautiful orchestrated ballad, a real soul, gut-wrenching ballad, some real crafty, clever funk tunes, mid-range kind of beautiful hook tunes, cover the gambit of all the different Tower Power elements that were in that record, and basically get back to Oakland. And then one day I was sitting around trying to think of a title concept, and I thought, well, you know, Tower Power's from Oakland, Oakland's own Tower Power, and I caught on the fact that Oakland's own Tower Power, Oakland Zone, sounds the same, you know, so we're going to call the album Tower Power, Oakland Zone.
And you know what's great about that also is zone being a pretty key word right now with people, whether it's sports, you know, they say we're in the zone.
Yeah, when you're really humming, man, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, so we're in the Oakland Zone.
So this really hits the spot, if you will. Is there one album you think that best defines Tower Power as a soul band?
I'll let Doc answer that.
I would think side one of Urban Renewal.
Because?
You know, because it's got it all. It's got the funky stuff, it's got the in-between mellow stuff, and it's got a great ballad on there. And we do all of those. I think people remember the funky stuff because, you know, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I have to agree, too. You know, when we did that album, I felt like we had just matured in the way that we approached our music, our songwriting, our production, our playing, every element of the band. I just felt like we were really there, you know. I remember talking to my manager after we cut only so much oil in the ground, you know. And in my mind at that time, it was like the rhythm was so funky. The changes were, you know, real advanced for the time, you know. The horn arrangement was magnificent by Greg Adams. The tenor solo by Lenny Pickett in the middle, unbelievable, you know. Lenny Williams singing that vocal, just burning it to the, and then got to the ride out, and Chester Thompson taking it out on the B3.
Right.
I remember just raving at my manager, this is the best record I ever made in my life. You know? Well, of course, the record never even hit the top 100, you know. But in my mind, it was like we were at the epitome doing our thing, you know.
And I know you and I have done so many interviews in the past, 25, 30 interviews, and every one of them I love more and more. But I remember you saying, Urban Renewal for you.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's my favorite record.
The chemistry, the magic, the relationship. Why does it work so well?
I think the magic is we both we grew up in different places. You know, I was from Berkeley, he was from Detroit, and then Fremont, California. But we had very similar tastes in soul music. You know, I mean, it was like, and even I hadn't played with anybody, but I knew a lot about it at the time I joined the band. So, you know, we had a lot in common. And then at that time, Emilio was really great at putting songs together. He'd hear a song like a Temptation song or a Sam and Dave song, a James Brown song, and he'd know what to tell everyone to do. You know, he's still great at that, but I mean, at the time it really blew me out because, you know, he was a young guy. He was not even 18 when we started playing music together. And, you know, and he would put these fabulous arrangements on these other people, these cover songs, you know. And so 6 months into it, a little less than 6 months into it, I suggested, why don't we write some? I'd never written before, but, you know, even then I had good ideas for, you know, I was good with words, you know, quips and one-liners and stuff like that. And, you know, and I'd gone to college, so I knew a little bit about music. And so we started writing, and the magic continued because our first song we ever wrote, was Still a Young Man. And that might have been our biggest song.
The secret to longevity for this band, because every time I see, and you know, you guys are one of my favorite bands, no doubt about that. But it seems to be everybody who loves soul music because night after night after night, packed house after packed house after packed house. The secret to longevity for this band is what?
Well, you know, for one thing, we don't know how to do nothing else. You know, I mean, we really don't. We're good at what we do, you know, and it's a good thing because we love it.
I hear
you know,
that.
We love it, and you know, we're blessed to have great fans, you know, a wonderful fan base throughout the world. I mean, they come out to see us. But to be real honest, even if it wasn't as good as it is now, I doubt that I would stop doing it, you know, because I love doing it. I mean, it's a general get-off, man, you know. It's a get-off to create the music. It's a get-off to record the music. It's a get-off to perform the music. In every respect, it's a get-off, man, you know. I mean, I love doing this.
Which one though means more to you? You know, do you enjoy the writing process more? Do you enjoy the recording, or do you enjoy the playing more? I mean, one of them
It's really difficult to say. You know, I have the best of all those worlds. That's what's so amazing about my career. I mean, I'm not just a sax player. I don't just get up and play little parts in Tower of Power every night. I mean,
Right.
you know, I'm involved in the making of the music, the creating of it, the recording of it, the production of it, the writing of it, the lyrics, the music, the rhythm, every aspect of it, you know, and I love all those aspects. And for, you know, I'll go periods of time where it's all live performances, you know, and then it's like, we got to make an album, so now then we'll go several months where we're making appointments with each other, and we go and we write. And every time we're writing, I remember, man, this is what I love, the buzz of creativity, you know. And then we write the songs, and then it's like, now it's time to rehearse those songs and figure out which ones are going to make the record. And I get in there and I'm rehearsing the band as I'm chiseling away at these tunes and making them better and better, trying to get them to be the way I envision them. It's like, that's another buzz, you know. And then, you know, we go in the studio, and it's like, there's the other buzz. It's creative, putting it to tape, and the different things that you can do when you're recording, you know. And it's just on and on and on. Each aspect of it is a great buzz, man. It's way better than drugs ever were, you know.
I'm going to give you a chance to think about this for a minute, Meme. Doc, I'm going to start with you. In the Hall of Fame of great classic soul songs, R&B songs, 3 that come to mind for you are what?
For some reason, Since I Fell for You by Lenny Welch, I don't know if it's an R&B song, but I mean, that pops into my head first. I really like that. I think a great R&B song, Heaven Must Have Sent You From Above. I don't know if that's the title, but Tammy Terrell and Marvin. I think it has a different title, but that's what I know it by. I really like that. Rescue Me, I think, is a great, great R&B song. A lot of those James Brown tunes. I mean, you know, Andy Sam and Dave, James Brown, and Otis Redding. I probably mentioned to you before, it was Otis Redding that got me into wanting to play soul music. I heard Otis Blue, Otis sing soul, and at the time I was playing the oboe and English horn in the University of California orchestra. And but I knew, I mean, the best I could do on oboe or English horn is get a degree and probably be a junior college teacher and maybe play the Civic Light Opera. You know, I mean, I was good, but I was never going to be an elite oboist, you know. Plus I had a real difficult time making reeds. That was a tough hang for me.
Sit there with
oh boy, that was hard. Playing, I was all right, but you know. Anyway, so I heard that Otis Redding record, and what I wanted to do was play soul music. And that was about a year before I met Emilio. And by the way, we're playing the Alameda County Fair again for the first time in years and years where we met, so that's going to be a stokeout for me.
That's nice, huh?
Yeah,
There this summer.
yeah. I mean, it's been 34 years we've been playing together. You know, long, long time. I like to say that
Some marriages don't last that long.
Yeah, well, a lot of marriages. I know.
I was going to say, right, more than 50%.
But
Anyway. We
anyway.
won't get into that.
I hear that as well.
Anyway, but I'd like to say, I mean, how long it's been that we've been writing songs, and in 4 or 5 years, we have been writing songs as long as Rodgers and Hart and Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote together. So, it's, you know, we've been together a long, long time.
Well, for one, it's an unfair question because 3.
Because there's a reservoir to choose
Oh yeah,
from.
I mean, I'm a soul music addict, man, and I study it. You know, I love it. You know, but if I had to just, you know, pick 3 out of the hat, I'd say for pure soul energy, high energy, you listen to "Can't Turn You Loose" on Otis Redding live at the Whiskey A Go Go. That band is just burning, and he's the fire beneath
Yeah,
it,
they are
man.
screaming on that
There's
bit,
nothing
yeah.
like when they go. It's a
Screaming.
dun 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 dun. I'm just like, my heart is pounding.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
it rips through your chest when you listen
So
to that.
I would pick that one for sheer energy, you know, and I would pick "Hypnotized" by Linda Jones, one of the finest female vocalists. Unfortunately, she passed away, but one of the greatest emotional soul singers. And that song, the way it's produced, played, the arrangement, the vocal, you know, the backgrounds, every aspect of that production, I love it, you know. And then one of my, so you got to do 3. Huh? I guess I would say "We're a Winner" by Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, just because it had that slick rhythm, and you know, the great vocal, the great message, the great backgrounds, the cool horn part, the little piano thing. It's a great song.